Okay. So, main build. Oh, perfect. That shows exclamation marks. Brilliant. Brilliant. I'm really happy about that. Okay. This could be a good time to do the Academy Library, as we've just started the This should be the start of a new episode, so it should be a perfect time to be like a lore episode. Let's do it. Let's do it. It is the only building we haven't been to, and I'm curious what books do. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, for some reason I just didn't read that. While the Academy is rather famous, it doesn't cater to the wealthy alone. We have students from all walks of life. Fortunately, it seems our friend from Class 5 still needs some education when it comes to library due dates. Oh, okay, so the guy from Class 5. Wait, was this just Shining? No. I'm pretty sure upstairs. Oh, there we go. Recommended reading corner. Five pages? Do we do it? The Orbital Revolution of 50 years ago had a profound effect on Erebonia, much as it did on other nations on the continent. Much is made of its impact on weaponry, but I believe its influence on transport was equally noteworthy. Specifically, the Orbital Revolution allowed the creation of railways for the first time. Before the Orbital Revolution, there were only 3 methods of transport available to Imperial citizens: horse, boat, and walking. Considering the sheer size of Erebonia, the situation was far from ideal, travelling from the Imperial capital of Hemdalar to Beriahard, the capital of the Kruzen province. For example, it took 10 days on foot and 4 days by horse. Such long journeys would be impossible to imagine for the Erebonian citizen of today. Changing all that, however, was the Orbital Revolution's transformation of manufacturing, making the creation of mechanical engines possible for the first time. This marked a key turning point in the history of transportation, and Erebonia's first use of these engines was the invention of the train. Okay, so Septian calendar 1158. The first orbitally powered vehicle to run on rail tracks was developed through the combined efforts of Professor G. Schmidt, a leading disciple of Professor Epstein, and the Rainford factory. Rainford factory. I believe that's Eustace's family. Or as I like to call him, Useless. I think. I can't remember. Wait! Rainford! Oh my god. R-E-I. There it is. There it is. That is the girl, Elisa. There you go. It's Elisa's family. That's gotta be. Known at the time as a weapons manufacturer. So this is 2 years later. The freight line between Ruhr City and the Saxon iron mine was completed. The first passenger railway connecting Hemdalar and the Ruhr began operation. As a result of these developments, the concept of the Orbital Railway became widely known throughout the nation. And by 1175, this is 10 years later, a wide-reaching railway network had been created, with Hemdalar at its centre. This rail nexus effectively connected the imperial capital with all of the major provincial capitals. This was followed soon after by the establishment of railways in other nations on the continent. Excuse me. Eventually leading to the creation of the Transcontinental Railroad 20 years ago, which has made transporting people, goods, and info all over the continent significantly easier. There is no doubt that the orbitally powered airships... Okay, we're just going to skim making airships? Anyway, there is no doubt that the orbitally powered airships invented in the Liberal Kingdom and the family automobiles developed in the Calverd Republic are also wonderful inventions. However, a half a century after the Orbital Revolution, it is an incontestable fact, nice word, that railways are the most important method of transport. Nice! Contents were added to book notes. Huh. It's a shame that it doesn't go, it stays there. I wish you could, like... Okay. Book notes, where's that? Oh, there we go. Oh. 18 pages. No, sorry guys. I can't do that. I can't. The reason being is I will be sound like... If you want me to do that, do let me know. But afterwards, this is how the Let's Play would sound. So, alright, now we're gonna go here. Like, my charisma, it would just all disappear. I would be very tired and it would be quite draining. It may not sound it, but trust me, it would. So maybe we'll do like maybe at the end of the game we'll like do something where we read all the books or something. We'll see. But it's not like I'm gonna ignore every book. Oh, you here to read too? There's nothing like spending a free day curled up with a good book. But try to keep it down if that's your plan. You wouldn't want to disturb anyone. Alright, well, that's fair enough, I guess. So from far, we can just look for the shiny dots. I never realised that that was a player. Yeah, look at that. Yep. Yep. Yeah. What about up here? Not seeing no shiny dots. There's no way. There were books here. Oh, come on. So why was the shiny dot... Alright, one sec. Scribble. What is it? Can't you see I'm busy studying? Leave me be. Alright, ballhead. Alright, let's see what these books are all about. Damn! Current events / politics. The Four Great Houses is a collective term for the storied families who rule the 4 Erebonian provinces. Each controls a private provincial army and commands respect, second to only the Arnor family. Wait. 4 Great Houses. Storied families who rule the 4 Erebonian provinces. Okay. So after the 4 Great Houses, it's the Arnor family? Not sure there. All 4 run their nearly country-sized provinces in accordance with the Empire's class system. But a push for modernization is increasing tensions between the 4 Great Houses and the reformist faction. So, do you guys remember I brought up the fact if there have been any revolutions against the social thing, and it seems like we're currently in the midst of one between the 4 Great Houses and the reformist faction. Huh. The 100 Days War was a war of aggression waged by the Empire against the Liberal Kingdom in 1192. The name is drawn from the 100 days between the start of the war and its church-mediated end. Initially, Liberal appeared to be at a significant disadvantage, with the Empire occupying a majority of their territory. But a single operation using then new patrol airships turned the tide of battle. So Liberal seemed to be at a disadvantage. Liberal versus the Empire? Okay. The reasoning for the war is not public knowledge, but the Erebonian Empire has since formally apologized to Liberal, calling the war a mistake born from an unfortunate misunderstanding. So I thought Erebonia was the name of the world, but that's not the case. Okay. So we've got Erebonian Empire. Liberal is probably like another big area of the world. Huh. Non-Aggression Pact. We'll just call it the NAP. Was an international treaty proposed by Queen Alicia II and signed in 1202 by the Liberal Kingdom, Erebonian Empire, and Calvard Republic. There we go. So those 3 are probably like the big... How do I say this? How would you put this? So it seems like the world is cut into 3 sections: Liberal, Erebonian, Calvard. I'll try and remember that. Okay. While not legally binding, the pact has had a powerful effect, bringing an end to large-scale Erebonian and Calvardian military exercises near Crossbell and decreasing tensions between each nation. Man, this is some... A lot of people told me, bro, this game's deep and it has some of the best world building in any game you'll ever see. This is a lot. Phantom Thief. B. B is an elusive thief who has stolen everything from jewels to orbital tanks from people and organizations across Zemuria. Maybe the world's called Zemuria. His strange, almost beautiful methods have given rise to a small, dedicated fanbase. Though he sends messages to his intended targets and makes public appearances clad in a white cape and mask, B's identity remains a mystery. He calls his recent unusual thefts the liberation of beauty. Huh. Really interesting reads. Man, there is going to be a lot of reading. You know what? I said I'd do it. So this episode is going to be all in the library. I'm not going to read like 18-page books and stuff, but stuff like this is super interesting. So if this isn't your thing, then I completely understand. If you want to, I'll make this its own episode, so you can you can just skip to the next episode. But you will miss my opinions on learning all this stuff, so you may want to stick around. Alright, the Great Collapse. The destruction of the ancient Zemurian civilization is estimated to have occurred 1200 years ago. While the Great Collapse is commonly attributed to a natural disaster, this theory remains unconfirmed. This ancient civilization's end marked the beginning of the Dark Ages. Huh. I'm going to talk quietly and read. I hope I don't sound bored, but I'm going to try and how do I say this? Just read calmer so I don't mess my voice up and get super thirsty and exhausted. Okay. The Septian Church is the most widespread religion in Zemuria and is based on the worship of the Sky Goddess. There it is. I knew it was close to Adidas. Aidios. So the church is the most widespread religion in Zemuria. I'm assuming the world is called Zemuria, and then we've got Libel, I think it was called Calvard, and Erebonia. Learning, and the god and the religion, the goddess of this world is called Aidios. I wonder if there are other religions. Its high seat is in the holy city of Arteria. Well, now we've got something called Arteria, which I have no idea what that is. Although its influence has decreased somewhat since the Orbital Revolution, it still has a significant presence in the continent's education and health systems. The word septium encompasses 7 types of precious stones mined across Zemuria. Viewed as symbols of mystery since ancient times, their value as a resource shot up practically overnight when the technology to refine sepith or septium fragments into quartz was developed. Okay, artifact. They are essentially ancient orbments. While both run on orbital energy, they are operated very differently, because they were likely produced by the ancient Zemurian civilization. The world's called Zemuria, I'm pretty sure. Proper analysis is currently beyond our technological grasp. They are occasionally found within ruins across the continent, and many are capable of demonstrating power that exceeds the bounds of human comprehension. Septian Church has as such defined artifacts as premature gifts from the goddess and claims responsibility for their collection and control. Alright, so that's history and civilization. Man, we've got a lot of reading. Is every one? Yes, it is. Woo. Culture. Renford Company was initially a gunpowder-based weapons manufacturer based out of the Erebonian Empire and known for its cannons and heavy firearms. Since the Orbital Rev, however, it has expanded its operation to include railways and airships. So Renford is insanely powerful. The expansion has made it one of the continent's 2 largest companies, rivaled only by Calvard. Who was called Calvard? Maybe it was Eustace Calvard? Is there a way I can press triangle and check? We'll check. Because now, we need to know everyone's second name. Okay. I can already feel my throat just like being like, nah bro, please stop reading. Verne Company. The Verne Company is a massive company headquartered in the Calvard Republic. Like its industrial rival, the Renford Company, the Verne Company was a storied arms manufacturer that expanded into orbital research and development after the Revolution. Particularly worth knowing are the company's innovative approaches to the development of orbital vehicles, such as orbital cars and buses. The ZCF, Zeiss Central Factory, was founded as the Zeiss Engineering Factory in Lebel's Kingdom, Zeiss City, by Professor A. Russell, a disciple of the great Professor Epstein. ZCF was the first orbit manufacturer to successfully develop an airship. They recently completed work on a high-speed cruiser, Arcee, a feather, and the cap of the Royal Liberian Army. Okay, nothing too long there. Culture 2, I'm guessing? Yep. Let me have a sip of water. The Bracer Guild. The Bracer Guild is a non-governmental organisation acting to keep the peace and protect civilians wherever its numerous and continent-spanning branches reach. Its members are known as Bracers. Huh. So these are like the heroes of the world, maybe? That basically, not the army, but like kind of like cool police? I don't know. Its guiding principle, yet, to put the safety of civilians above all else. It's both its greatest strength and a handicap, as it cannot involve itself in political matters unless civilians are directly threatened. Oh, cool. Okay. So they are like the people's police, kind of. If that makes sense. Jaeger Corps. I found out that means hunter in German because I've recently been watching Attack on Titan. The main guy is called Eren Jaeger. Incredibly skilled mercenary groups, which can be found all over the continent, are known as Jaeger Corps. Due to their combat proficiency and their willingness to take on morally grey contracts. Oh, these are mercenaries then. They're often used as private armies. As such, several countries have passed laws against their hire and use. Oh, so these guys are dodgy if you ever come across one of them. The IBC. The Bank of Crossbelt is a large banking org. It manages vast quantities of money flowing into Crossbelt and supports their economies. The IBC's interests extend beyond banking too. In addition to providing most of the funding for the Epstein's Foundation Orbital Network project, the bank manages theme parks and other similar diversions. And last, we've got the Imperial Chronicle, which if I recall is a newspaper. Oh, it's a news organisation. Close enough. It's headquartered in Hemdelar. It has built up a rep as the Empire's most trustworthy news source over the course of its 120-year history, which my guess means it's not trustworthy at all, but we'll see. Last year, in an effort to diversify their news distribution, the company established Imperial Chronicle Radio to supplement their widely read newspaper. Brilliant! Really interesting stuff. Technology. We know about the orbital revolution. We just read about that. Orbment, general term for devices that operate by drawing orbital energy from septium. It was invented by Professor Epstein. The internal structure of an orbment allows it to interact with quartz, which in turn is manufactured from septium. It allows for the manufacture of orbments with nearly limitless potential. Between their flexibility and ability to recover their internal orbital energy over time, the orbments are significantly more efficient than combustion engines. Now I'm intrigued by quartz. It's a circuit with a crystalline structure made by refining and processing septium fragments known as sepith. We know all about sepith. While it's both an energy source and capable of producing a variety of phenomena, without the use of an orbment, they're completely useless. I wonder if there are people out there, and this is just me guessing and thinking out loud, who have like figured out how to use the power of quartz without orbments. That was nice and quick. Orbital arts. They're a kind of magic which can be activated by inserting quartz into a battle orbment, a combat-ready orbment developed by the Epstein Foundation. These arts, as they are commonly known, are widely used by armies, police forces, and bracers. Oh, so there are police as well. Okay. Across the continent for their ease of use. Sufficient training can give anyone access to their incredible power. The Orbital Network project is an effort by the Epstein Foundation to develop a network in which vast quantities of info can be exchanged between computers using a series of Orbital cables. While initially a joint effort between Epstein Foundation and Libel's ZCF, the IBC, I believe that's the bank place, is currently bankrolling the project. Yep. As a result, the network is currently being tested in Crossbell City and the Epstein Foundation. The Epstein Foundation is an organisation dedicated to continuing the work of Professor Epstein. It researches and manufactures orbments, specialising in information processing and communication. The Foundation is also the sole manufacturer of battle orbments, which allow their users access to arts. Their recent Orbital Network project also promises to be the future of orbital communication. Ooh! Or water. You know it's bad when you have to gargle some water. Okay. International, here we go. Interesting, we've got Erebonium, we've got Calvard, but we don't have Libel here? Now I'm a little bit confused. The Erebonian Empire is located on the western side of the continent of Zemuria. Okay, and represented by the emblem of the Golden Stallion, current emperor is Eugent Reese Arnold III. Despite the Empire's strict class system and focus on tradition, it has begun to modernise due to the railway expansion efforts of Gilead Osborne, a veteran now known as the Blood and Iron Chancellor. So we are currently in Erebonia, I believe, which means we're in an empire that has a very strict class system. I wonder if others are like that, or are they more lenient when it comes to commoners and nobles? Maybe they don't even have that. Maybe everyone's treated the same. We'll see. Between its mechanized national armed forces, the Imperial Army, and private provincial armies, at the command of the nobles ruling each province, Erebonia may be the most powerful nation in Zemuria. Cool. Calvard Republic lies to the east of Crossbell State, and was established after a democratic revolution roughly 100 years ago. The current head of state is President Rocksmith. It's a vast country, and thanks to their long-standing open immigration policies, very culturally diverse, many immigrants from the east have made Calvard their home. Although it has been significantly less hostile towards Erebonia since the signing of their non-aggression pact, the two nations have been at each other's throats many times over the years. I like the sound of Calvard. Crossbell State. It sits on the western side of Zemuria, between the Erebonian Empire and the Calvard Republic. Wait, so what's Libel then? So Crossbell sits on the western side of Zemuria. So we've got Zemuria as well. And it's between Erebonia and the Calvard Republic. While established as an autonomous state 70 years ago, two neighbours still dispute its ownership. Ooh, okay. At its centre lies Crossbell City, one of the continent's key centres of commerce. In addition to being a key station on the Transcontinental Railroad, the city is home to a major international airport. I really want to know about Libel now. Okay, so it looks like we've got more. So there were 3 places we just learned about. I also want to know what Zemuria is. Alright, Lemon State. They look like they're lemons. Home to the Epstein Foundation and the birthplace of Professor Epstein himself. Lemon is a state in the centre of the Zemurian continent. I think I'm right in thinking that Zemuria is the whole world. Or at least a continent. It's also known for housing the headquarters of the Bracer Guild. Cool! Which has branches all across Zemuria. Yes, I think Zemuria is, yeah. So that's Lemon State. Okay, the holy city of Artaria. City-state housing the high seat of the Septian Church. Artaria is located at the centre of the continent and acts as a gathering place for believers and church officials alike. That's kind of like the Pope kind of thing. Cool! Bro, this world is insane, there's so much lore. You know, I saw a crazy comment. That's obviously, don't worry, it's not comparing it to Lord of the Rings or anything like that. But it was like, this is the JRPG version of Lord of the Rings when it comes to lore. Do you know what I mean? I'd love to know what you guys think about that, if you've played these games and also read the Lord of the Rings book or something. But yeah, this is a deep deep game and world. And I know there are 5 games before this. Well, 5 main games. I'm not planning on playing them, but what I am planning on doing is probably watching playthroughs of them. But if you do want me to play them, let me know. It probably matters on how well this series does. We'll see. The church comprises a number of orgs, including the Congregation for Divine Worship, which handles liturgical matters, the Congregation for the Sacraments, which handles administering the sacraments of the goddess, and the Papal Guard, which is responsible for protecting the holy city of Arteria itself. Here we go, Labelle. Labelle Kingdom, situated in the southwest part of the Zamurian continent. Rich in nature and history, the kingdom is ruled by the long-lived Queen Alicia II, a staunch advocate for peace. While a humble nation compared to those around it, its bountiful septium reserves advanced technological capabilities, and Queen Alicia's skillful diplomacy allows it to stand on equal footing with any other. Last year, a large object of unknown origin appeared above Valeria Lake, disabling orbments nationwide. Damn! So that was last year. I wonder if that's a game. I wonder if that's one of the games. This crisis was resolved with the joint efforts of the Royal Army and the Bracer Guild. Cool, bro. And here we go, Nord Highlands, who I believe Gaius is from there. And we also got a question correct regarding Nord Highlands. It was something to do with a revolution or something. This is where it all started. The Lord Highlands are located northeast of the Empire and surrounded by the Isengard range. Bro, I'm starting to think, I wonder if these devs were inspired by Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. Isengard? Come on. Despite their harsh natural environment, they're populated by a tribe of nomads with their own unique culture. So this is like the super old school traditional area. Kind of like mountain people. Given their proximity to both the Empire and the Republic, the Highlands have been a hotly contested territory for many years. Damn, they probably just probably hate everyone. Really interesting reads. Alright, more water. We're nearly done. That one's nothing there, that one's nothing. Are we done? Did I do it? Bro, that is the most reading I've done in years. I hope you guys are proud of me. If anyone's here still. We did it. We'll take that. Don't expect that from me every time. But hey, you know what? Those are some great reads. And we got a lot of information about the world. And I'm really happy I did it. And all with some beautiful music in the background. Hey, if you're still here, shout out to you. I'll end this part right now. And let's carry on.